Does the thought of sending your child back to school fill you with more dread than excitement? If your child struggles with ADHD, anxiety, or emotional dysregulation, you know those first weeks can bring meltdowns, sleepless nights, and a whole lot of worry. But what if the key to smoother transition wasn't another chart or checklist, but instead key conversations? In today's episode, I'll share 10 powerful talks, simple but intentional conversations that can help your child and you walk into this school year with more calm, more confidence, and more connection. You won't want to miss this one. Welcome to Calm Connection Parenting. I'm your host, Jamie Kirkbride, mom of 7, parenting coach, professional counselor, and wrangler of big emotions. If you're raising a highly sensitive child with intense emotions or challenging behaviors and wondering if you'll make it through without losing your mind, you're not alone. Around here, we're all about real-life parenting, sprinkled with a little humor and a whole lot of patience. So grab your coffee, trust me, you'll need it, and join me as we explore tips, stories, and faith-based strategies to help you bring more calm and confidence into your chaotic days. Let's do this. Hey friend, does the thought of sending your child back to school bring up a little anxiety in your own heart? If so, you're not alone. For many parents, back to school is exciting with new supplies, new teachers, maybe even new opportunities. But if your child has ADHD, struggles with anxiety, or wrestles with emotional dysregulation, the transition can feel like crossing a deep ravine on a tightrope. In fact, it's not just the child who's affected. The whole family feels the stress, and so often, as parents, we're left wondering, what can I do to set my child up for success? Well, that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. And the good news, it doesn't have to be complicated. Sometimes the most powerful tools we have are simply conversations. You heard that right. The talks that we have with our child, their teachers, with family, and more. So today we're diving into 10 conversations that can help your child build a bridge back to school with more calm, more confidence, and more connection. I want you to picture this, a tightrope strung over a deep ravine. On one side, your child is standing in the safety of summer, where routines are a little bit looser, expectations are a little lighter, and they just feel more comfortable. On the other side is school, with structure, increased demands, and a host of unknowns. For kids with ADHD, anxiety, or this emotional dysregulation, that bridge can feel shaky. But every conversation you have is like adding a plank to that bridge. One by one by one, those conversations create a solid path to help your child walk into a new school year without falling into the deep ravine of fear, frustration, and overwhelm. So let's talk about this simple and doable conversations that I mentioned that can make a world of difference for your child, for you, even your entire family. Talk number 1 is with your child. Start first with your child, and here's the secret. Don't make it a heavy conversation. Sometimes the best talks happen side by side while simply building Legos, maybe coloring together, or just grabbing a fun little snack. These relaxed, playful moments make it easier for your child to open up and share their heart. And even if what comes out of your child is negative, maybe they're saying, I hate school, or it's just too hard, resist the urge to shut it down. Instead, I encourage you to just listen. Show them that you can handle their honesty. When you do this, you build trust, and trust builds more calm as well as connection. You might just validate that things feel tough or that they aren't liking school much yet. But don't shut them down. Just aim to understand and keep the door to their thoughts and their heart open. Talk number 2, with the teacher. Next, connect with your child's teacher. Don't wait until the first meltdown or the first missed assignment. Reach out before school begins if you can, or as soon as possible once the year is underway. Share a quick overview of your child's strengths, maybe even their needs. Sometimes it helps to put it all on one page, a snapshot that maybe highlights what works best and maybe what triggers your child. And just as important, set up a communication plan. Do you prefer quick emails, a phone call, a weekly update for the first few weeks? Decide together so you're working as a team and not scrambling in the moment. Talk number 3 is with the SPED teacher. Even if your child doesn't currently have services, go ahead and introduce yourself. If maybe you're just still in the process of figuring out what might be going on with your child. Special education teachers often know the ins and outs of accommodations, sensory breaks, and those flexible strategies that could help ease the transition. They might even be able to set up a school tour before the year begins so that your child can have that familiar point of reference. This kind of preparation can calm a lot of anxiety before school even starts. And if your child does have a plan in place, then you might have already experienced the value of this SPED person in working out scheduling issues, classroom concerns, even coordinating communication that might need to have a little bit of help from someone within the school and not just you. You'll find out this person can be invaluable to your child and their success, so don't hesitate to connect with them. Talk number 4 is with the school counselor. School counselors can be a huge asset. They're not just there for crisis moments, should they occur, but they can actually teach your child some skills for managing emotions, reducing anxiety, or handling those social struggles. And if you connect with the counselor early, your child will see them as a safe and trusted adult before the hard days come. Sometimes the school counselor can even direct you to support groups for parents or things that you might be able to link up with through the community for resources. So don't overlook this conversation since it can be an important school connection. Talk number 5 is with a pediatrician, psychologist, or psychiatrist. Your medical team is part of the back-to-school puzzle too. A pediatrician can help you with some of the mental health issues, maintenance, and even give you some referrals. Psychologists can be useful if you're needing assessments or evaluations, maybe a deeper understanding of potential mental health issues, or referrals for treatment. A psychiatrist is often more informed on the numerous options for treatments and protocols for mental health issues. They may be more involved in medication use and can continue monitoring how your child is doing. Now, I know sometimes parents feel nervous about bringing school issues to doctors, but when you include them in these kind of issues, they can give you better guidance, especially when you're dealing with anxiety and emotional dysregulation. You don't have to carry that stress all alone. Not sure about what to pursue or even what to say? I get that. Talking about these conversations, I realize and remember how overwhelming it can feel to know what to say or even where to start or what question to even ask. That's exactly why I created the Calm Connection Parent Coaching Program. Inside this program, we take these kinds of situations and we break them down into practical, doable steps that build confidence for you and calm for your child. So if you're nodding along today and thinking, yes, I need more of this, then you just might want to hear more about this program. Are your child's emotions and challenging behaviors pushing you to the edge? You're not alone. From constant struggles to emotional outbursts, it's easy to feel like you're just one step away from chaos. But what if I told you there's a better way? In the Calm Connection program, you'll get access to a video course, workbooks, and a supportive community to learn practical, faith-based strategies for handling even the toughest of behaviors. But the best part, you get weekly coaching calls with me, where we can explore your child or family's specific struggles and work together for some solutions. If you're tired of trying methods that just don't work, or you feel like you don't have time to add one more thing to your plate, don't worry. This program was designed to fit into a busy parent's life and give you real solutions with some quick wins too. Ready to take the first step toward a calmer home? Visit calmconnectionparent.com and learn more about the Calm Connection coaching program. You've got this, and I'm here to support you. All right, let's jump back in. We've already talked about conversations with your child, their teacher, the SPED teacher, the school counselor, and doctor. Now, another important conversation to have is with your child's siblings. That's right. Let's not forget the brothers and sisters. Siblings can often feel overlooked or even resentful if all the attention goes toward the child who struggles more. Taking time to talk with them in age-appropriate ways can help them understand what ADHD, anxiety, and emotional dysregulation looks like. And maybe they need to understand why their sibling may need different support. In our family, we talk about that unique wiring, how we're all different, and how they might have a sibling who gets angry really fast or can sometimes have a hard time putting the brakes on their emotions. And so we talk about ways that we as a family can support each other. Encourage them to look for their siblings' strengths, to show empathy, and to see themselves as part of the family team. These sibling talks can ease tension at home and build unity in the family. It may even be helpful to develop a code word for those times that you might need them to give your emotional child some extra space. Maybe when you're just needing a little bit of silence to not trigger them, or simply some extra care. Develop that code word so you can work together as a team. Talk number 7 with your spouse or co-parent. Now this one might feel obvious, but it's so important. Kids thrive when they see their parents working together. Before school starts, sit down with your spouse or co-parent. Talk through daily routines, expectations, and even how you'll handle those tough moments. When your child senses consistency and calm between the two of you, it helps reduce their own dysregulation. That doesn't mean you're going to agree on everything, but you can attempt to align on the big stuff and present a united front. Should you disagree, because undoubtedly you will, agree to use maybe a simple code word and take your discussion to another area away from the child, or table the conversation until later. This will allow you to work together without the conflict, feeding a moment that can easily turn into family dysregulation or even chaos. Talk number 8 is with extended family. Sometimes grandparents, aunts, or uncles just don't understand why your child reacts the way they do. They might see behavior that looks defiant when really it's your child's anxiety or sensory overload. Having a gentle but honest conversation can help them build some compassion, understanding, and even empathy. It can help them see your child's unique wiring as a strength and not just a struggle. This reduces judgment and can increase support. Two things I know you would be grateful to have heading into the school year. When you have clarity about your child's issues, you will be better equipped to help other family members understand, accept, and support your child's challenges or unique wiring, as well as open their eyes to their strengths and those wins. It can be a risk to open the door to these conversations, but beneficial when handled well. Feel as though you don't really know enough to explain it? I get that too. Then you might just want to look into that Calm Connection program and all that you can learn about your child and how to build that confidence and connection. You might also appreciate the informative free guide called Behind the Behaviors. And you can get your free copy at calmconnectionparent.com/behind the behaviors. And that link is also found in our show notes. Talk number 9 is with other parents. It can feel so lonely, even isolating, to parent a child who needs extra attention, extra direction, extra oversight, extra support, extra help, extra training, extra patience. You get the drift. You live it. But talking with other parents who get it makes a huge difference. These conversations help you realize you're really not alone. It helps normalize the struggles, and it can bring you some fresh encouragement and even creative problem-solving ideas. Sometimes just hearing another parent say, "I've been there too," is enough to lift the weight off your shoulders and remind you that you and your child will make it through. Hearing from others who are ahead of you can give you some hope. And hearing from others that are just starting out or earlier in their journey might encourage you to realize where you started and how far you've come. And when you live with a child who needs extra, you know the value in noticing even those small wins. We as parents need to have each other's backs and give the support that can be so hard to find. That's one of the reasons I enjoy the coaching program and the Parenting with Personality Facebook group. So feel free to check those out. Talk number 10, don't forget the most important talk of all. Simply talk with God. It may feel at times that you have no one to talk to about issues that feel so personal or private without changing how others might relate to your child. However, God created them, and none of this takes him by surprise. He handpicked you to help them grow and learn, and he promises to equip you for this journey. So don't forget to pour your heart out to God. Pray for your child. You might even write your prayers in a journal so you can see how those prayers are answered. And when you pray with your child, remind them that they were created uniquely and with a very special purpose. That reassurance that God sees them, knows them, and walks with them can be the foundation that steadies them and you when everything else feels a bit shaky. So friend, there you have it. 10 conversations that matter and can make all the difference in the world with your child, their teacher, sped teacher, counselor, doctor, siblings, co-parent, extended family, other parents, and God. Each talk is a plank in that bridge, helping your child and even you walk into the school year with more confidence and less chaos. You don't have to do all these conversations at once. Just pick one this coming week. Maybe it's reaching out to the teacher with an email. Maybe it's grabbing a special snack and talking with your child. Maybe it's picking up the phone and making that appointment that you've been putting off with the doctor. Start somewhere. Take that next step and let that one conversation build momentum into a year that can be building calm, confidence, and connection. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Just remember, you've got this. And on the days you don't, well, we're in this together. Take a deep breath and keep building those heart-to-heart connections. If you found this episode helpful, please share it with a friend who might need it too. And don't forget to connect with us at parentingwithpersonality.com or in our Parenting with Personality Facebook support group. We'd love to continue supporting you there. Until next time, keep calm and parent on.